Hey guys, I'm HOJ, and in today's video we're going to be doing another best of one standard event, this time with a mono white Airbend deck that I kind of put together based on one of your suggestions. So I really appreciate it. If you guys ever have decks that you want to see in an event, let me know, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. So before we get into it, all the links are going to be in the description. In the top pinned comment of this video, you're going to see a link to subscribe or become a member for 99 cents a month and have early access to all my videos and help support the channel. So those are both options. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, so this is based on a deck that one of my viewers recommended in a match that he had linked. So if you're watching this, please, if you want, maybe make a comment and sort of link that so people can kind of see sort of which deck you were referring to. I didn't have the list, and so I just kind of tried to build it as best I could based on what I saw, and then made a couple changes myself that looked maybe a little bit interesting. So the whole concept of the deck is based around Airbender Ascension, and basically airbending our own creatures, sometimes our opponent's creatures, and then getting this to 4 counters. And so when you have 4 counters on this enchantment, then at the end of your turn, you can exile up to 1 target creature you control and return it to the battlefield. This can be pretty powerful with like nice end of the battlefield effects, and so I tried to explore what white had to offer, and there's a couple cards that looked really interesting. So in our 1-drop slot, we have a full playset of Lightstall Inquisitor. This is a really nice aggressive 2/1 for 1. When it comes in, each opponent exiles a card from their hand and may play that card as long as it remains exiled, and this spell costs 1 more to cast. It's a little tax on one of their spells. If you can start bouncing this back and forth, you can potentially tax multiple cards in your opponent's hand, while also having like a really quick early blocker / attacker. In addition, we have 1 copy of Momo, Playful Pet. This is one of the few creatures that you actually get a benefit when it leaves the battlefield. And so when you're bouncing it in and out with your Airbender Ascension, you can create food tokens, you can put +1/+1 counters on creatures, you can scry 2. So it's kind of a nice little effect to have it come in and out of play. I do also have 1 copy of Curious Farm Animals, which doesn't have a necessarily like an end of the battlefield effect, but it is kind of a tutor target to be able to deal with artifacts or enchantments, thanks to 3 copies of Starfield Shepherd. So this is a 5-drop that you're typically going to play on turn 2 with Warp. It warps in for 2 mana. And then when this creature enters, you search your library for a basic Plains card or a creature card with mana value 1 or less, reveal it and put it into your hand and then shuffle. And so this is kind of nice because it can go and find like an Inquisitor, maybe Momo. It can find the Curious Farm Animals if there's, artifact or enchantment you have to deal with. And it also helps you find more land to kind of get going. We do also have 3 copies of Seamrip, just as a acknowledgement to all of the Badger Mole Cubs that are out there that just have to be dealt with, and early other threats. And then on 2 mana, we've got a full playset of Airbender Ascension, kind of what the deck centers around. 3 copies of Charming Prince. So this is a 2 mana, 2/2 human noble. And when it enters, you can choose one to either scry 2, gain 3 life, or exile another target creature that you own and return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. So it's kind of like a mini one-time Airbender Ascension all its own, which can get pretty nice if you start like Airbending Ascension. This, you can get different modes or potentially have like cascade effects, but it can also sort of be a nice sort of like bootleg Airbender Ascension if you don't have the card in play. And it can help sort of do all the things that we already talked about with the other creatures. We have 1 copy of Rest in Peace, just as an acknowledgement to all of the graveyard hate matches where you need to have answers for Reanimator and things like that. And then 2 copies of Surus, Spider Silk Innovator. This is a legendary creature, human scientist hero for 2 mana. It's a 0/1. And when it enters, you can create a 2/1 green spider creature token with reach. And then there's a transform cost that you won't be able to use. Ideally, you're just using it to create little creatures while you're bouncing it in and out of play. And then we have 4 copies of Parting Gust, which is a nice removal spell, which also doubles as another way to bounce creatures in and out of play and protect your creatures. So you can either protect one of your creature and have it come back with a +1/+1 counter at the beginning of the next end step, or you can give your opponent a tapped fish and exile one of their creatures permanently, which is great against like Ouroboros and things like that. And then we have in the 3 drops, we've got 2 copies of Kutzil's Flanker, which are like the 2nd and 3rd Rest in Peace in a way. They also can be used for multiple modes, to gain life and scry, to put a +1/+1 counter on it if you have a bunch of other creatures that left the battlefield. So this can be, you know, another thing you can use to bounce in and out with Airbender Ascension. 4 copies of Enduring Innocence. This is sort of like the payoff for creatures coming into and out of play. Whenever one or more other creatures you control with power 2 or less enter, draw a card, and it only triggers once per turn. And then if it dies, it comes back as an enchantment. 2 copies of Suki, Courageous Rescuer. This is a nice little effect that gives you +1/+0 to all your other creatures. And then whenever another permanent you control leaves the battlefield during your turn, you create a 1/1 white ally creature token, and this triggers once per turn. So this is another creature that gives you a benefit for something leaving the battlefield. And so you can get little extra tokens while you're bouncing things in and out. For 4 mana, we have a copy of Beza, the Bounding Spring. So this gives you either life or fish tokens or extra cards or treasure tokens, depending on if you have fewer of those things than your opponent. And another thing you can bounce in and out for extra value. And then we have the Starfield Shepherds that we kind of talked about earlier to go and find planes or 1 mana creatures. And then 1 copy of Elspeth Stormslayer. So whenever you're making tokens, you're making twice as many. And just kind of a nice sort of end game. You can start buffing your team and giving everything flying. And then 3 copies of Overlord of the Mistmoors that you can play for 4 mana to impend and then create a bunch of 2/1 white insect creature tokens with flying. And those are the creatures, and then you just kind of bounce them in and out for value. For the mana, we have 21 land. Part of the reason we only have 21 land is we do have the Starfield Shepherds to help us get more. And we're also hopefully drawing more cards with Enduring Innocence to get there. 3 copies of Abandoned Air Temple to start pumping the team to give you sort of like a win con. 2 copies of Adagia, Windswept, Bastion. You can use this to create a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except it's legendary. And so this is nice because you can make copies of really important cards like Overlord of the Mistmoors, Enduring Innocence to draw extra cards, another Airbender Ascension to kind of get going even more, Seam Rip, Rest in Peace to have like a backup. So you have 14 cards in the deck, which it can sort of help get extra value. And then 3 copies of Fountainport just to make more tokens, kind of give us an extra win con, and 13 planes. And that's the deck. So let's go ahead and jump in. Yeah, I'm excited to play this. I haven't really tried it at all, so I have no idea how it's going to perform. But we will try it and see how it goes. And, you know, even if it doesn't do well, hopefully it should be fun to play. I'm hoping with the Parting Gusts and the Seam Rips that we have enough interaction to kind of stay relevant to some of the other decks. All right, opening hand looks good. We've got 2 Airbender Ascensions, a little bit of mana, piece of removal. We're on the draw, so we'll see how this goes. Can play a little speed bump here on turn 1. For our Singleton Curious Farm Animals. Can use this to get rid of the Storm Chaser's talent, or potentially if they have like an Artist talent coming down. Okay, they're not having any of that nonsense. They want to just get in with their otters and call it a day. But we get the nice gain 3 life is kind of nice, and now we can start airbending their tokens, which is pretty fun. I'm already into Airbender Ascension. It's kind of a nice, fun answer for Storm Chaser's talent. All right, let's do another one. This will be good a little bit later once they start building up lesson count. So in the meantime, let's just keep bouncing. All right, there's an artist talent. Now we can impend the Overlord of the Mistmoors. Start getting some tokens. And get some triggers on our Airbender Ascensions. And they have demonstration ready to nuke our our board. That is what it is. And they're going deep with lessons. So we could wait here. This is a decent time though to flanker. They've got 5 lessons in yard, and next turn they can start returning them. Part of the reason I might want to do it now is so that we can play around Eloquentia, which they certainly could have, and we don't have the mana to stop. So I think we're going to go for, although I suppose we could play Abandoned Air Temple here, but getting Adagia into play is kind of nice because then we can copy this Overlord, which is going to be pretty funny, hopefully. So I think I'm just going to go for the flanker now, even though we could potentially get a little bit more value with it later. And we'll just go ahead and exile the yard. Theoretically, this way you can come back and do it again. And then we can station up our Adagia. This way, if our opponent is planning to kind of go for like accumulated wisdom, they're going to be a couple lessons off for just a little while. And if they let us untap, then we can Parting Gust our flanker and start going off with the Ascensions and get their graveyard again. All right, there's another flanker. Now we can start working on the Adagia, just start setting up it all a whole bunch here. So let's, while they're tapped out, we can flanker and get Ascension set up and then have Parting Gust back up. All right, let's go ahead and draw some, or scry and gain a little bit of life here. Parting Gust is nice. Can have another Parting Gust ready for our Overlord. So I think I like that plan. Can also Inquisitor their hand kind of over and over, which is sort of fun. But I think we have better targets here. So another Parting Gust feels pretty good. And now we can just start working on our Adagia and then have Parting Gust ready. And this is going to get pretty silly pretty quick. All right, let's get some more. Actually, I wonder if we can grow this a little bit. Let's just scry some more. Scrying is fun. Ooh, Enduring Innocence. It's not amazing. Actually, it will be amazing. All right, so we want both of those two on top. This one we can have come back and maybe start getting some +1/+1 counters. Oh, and that double triggers. That's kind of nice. Oh, forgot to get the Adagia going. That was a mistake. Wait, I think only as a sorcery. Never mind. So we couldn't do that. Demonstration. We could Parting Gust here. I don't know if we actually care though, because like I'd rather like hold it for Overlord. So I think we just let it go. Could be wrong. I'm not sure. Like Gust is a pretty good blowout. If they have, I guess if they have It'll Quench You here, it's kind of annoying. I think I'm gonna go for it though. I think it's okay. They could have like Combustion Technique or something else. Yeah, it's fine. They're starting to go off a little bit though, so we got to be a little careful. Not interested in trading. Okay, now we can get Adagia going. Let's do that while we're holding priority. So we can make a copy of Overlord, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. See, I think we just do that over Innocence. Innocence is great, but copy of Overlord is pretty fun. And this is going to get out of hand really quick. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll nuke their yard with our flanker and also make some more tokens. Oh, I guess we don't want to bounce this one because then it won't come back. So we'll just, I guess, bounce this twice. Have to be a little careful here. Okay, demonstration is pretty good. But they're still going to need some answers here for the Mistmoors. They got a ways to go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take the damage here, and then we can push in for a lot next turn. Yeah, because we've got Air Temple. We can also just copy another one. This is just really getting out of hand now. I think, let's see, if we attack with both, we can't quite kill them this turn, but we can play Innocence here. We could also copy a Mistmoors or just like Parting Gust. There's a lot of different ways. This draws more cards, but I think this is just pretty nasty. Yeah, because I guess they could get back Demonstration. So we probably want to give them +1/+1 counters. So I think we just push. think we want to just like we want to just hold for Air Temple here. Now we've got Parting Gust backup and Air Temple in case they try to like go for Iros. Assume they're going to go for Iros here. Oh, Combustion Technique, that's fine. Now we can Parting Gust to get it out. Yeah, but I mean, like, they're so dead here because we just abandoned Air Temple and then we're fine. Okay, this deck is already quite silly. I'm so in for it. Yeah, that was a blast to play. All right, opening hand looks okay. Little bit could use some more mana, but we have some stuff to do. We're on the draw, so maybe we draw into more. But yeah, bouncing that Overlord of the Mistmoors over and over was just, oh, it is disgusting. In a really good way. All right, a little bit slow on the draw here. Black Magic Rod, Black Mage's Rod. Okay, what does this thing do? Oh, interesting, okay. All right, let's just Airbender Ascension, the token that's on the Black Mage's Rod. Are going to need a little bit of mana here to get going. So we are definitely taking some damage here. All right, that's pretty good. So now I think we seam rip. Actually, it's kind of expensive to equip. Maybe we just how do we could like Inquisitor plus Prince. We're at 15. Could also seam rip the token. Actually, I think I like seam rip. Could also play Momo. Actually, if we do Momo plus Charming Prince, we can get a food. We could also just gain 3 life with this as well. So we might be taking a little bit of damage here. So I think, all right, let's Inquisitor. Let's slow their hand down a little bit. And I don't know if we're supposed to respect these a little bit more, but I think I'm just going to bounce the Inquisitor to kind of get Ascension going. So now it comes back and hits another card. It's kind of a nice little double tax. Okay, what does this thing do? Sacrifices a creature of their choice. I think we want Prince around because we've got another Inquisitor. So I think we can maybe lose the Inquisitor here. Next turn we can go for like Seamrip plus Inquisitor. We are at 14, so we might want to start respecting their stuff. And like we can still like bounce the Inquisitor itself, but if we can keep this around, we can like gain 3 life a turn. So that's also nice. Yeah, I think maybe we just trade with their hero token. Just buy a little bit of time here. Ooh, that's a nice one. We could do that. I think we're okay on life enough to go for Innocence here. Now we can bounce Innocence, and we don't need to right now, but can start setting up for some value. Let's see, what have we got coming? They've got Spectral Restitching, Circle of Power. Huh. And we're happy to trade here or just block and gain some life. Doesn't matter if they grow it, it's fine. All right, a little bit more mana. Now we can really start going off with Mistmoors. And we will skip bouncing the tokens. Okay, more Black Mage's stuff. You have to be a little bit careful. We're starting to lose some life here, so they could drain us out. And I think we double block here. We just want to get these things. Try to keep our life as high as possible. All right, let's get Lightstall. Actually, let's wow, they've got all these black magic rods. They can get stitching back, so maybe we want to get Storm Chaser's talent. But I think maybe we just take some of these creatures off the table. And let's get Momo. Oh, you know, I could have done that in a different order. That would have been better. That was my mistake. But I think we want Lightstall too. And now we'll airbend the Momo so that we get our food token. Just so we can stay in control. Then we got Overlord coming soon. Okay, it looks like they're going for Circle of Power, I guess. All right, let's gain some life. There's another Ascension for us. All right, let's start with Innocence. Get the gravy train rolling here with some cards. Ooh, Adagia is pretty nice. Can get that. And how about some Airbender Ascension action? Bounce their token. All right, and then we can, I guess they're going to have some stuff coming back here. So we have to be a little bit careful with our life total. And now we can Adagia and then get some stuff back. I guess we only get to keep one thing back, so let's definitely use Momo, because I think Momo's coming back. And then I just want to be a little careful here, so we don't have to like level this up instantaneously. We can just let that go. Let's get Momo going. And let's get some more food tokens, I think. Yeah. Now we just need to survive the next turn. Which might be a little bit interesting. We can survive long enough to get Overlord going. We can hopefully try to pull ourselves out of this. Okay, and I think we've just got to block here, save some life. Let's get some more food. All right, now we can use Charming Prince to gain life, which is great. Let's see, it's tap a Fountainport. Gain some life. Get some Airbender Ascensions rolling. Ooh, wow. Okay, I'm so in for this. We're 10. Probably don't kill us. I think we can go for Innocence plus Lightstall. So let's do that. Draw even more cards. And let's get Lightstall going. All right, now we're going to be able to bounce 2 creatures, so we can start going for Adagia. Probably Lightstall and Prince. I think they don't have too many attackers, so we could even probably use the Innocence here. I suppose if we do the timing right, we can get like an additional bounce off the other prince if we want. But I think we just want to gain life. You've got so many options here, but let's just be super safe and gain life. And now we're starting to take over, hopefully. I gotta say that Airbender Ascension plus Enduring Innocence is pretty funny. It's a nice interaction. All right, so we can make some tokens to draw some cards. I think let's just do that. We can do it off the attack. We're using a Fountainport. I guess let's just do it off the attack. I think I don't really care about the Inquisitor anymore, so I think we just get in with these three. Keep the Prince back. And let's draw a bazillion cards. Now we've got like double Parting Gust backup. Then we can start buffing everything up with Air Temple if we want. I think let's just make some more copies though. That might be more fun. All right, so now we can, how close are we to making a copy? We need 5 more. We can do that. Now let's make a copy of Overlord because that's fun. And then we've still got Parting Gust backup. And now we can probably end the turn and just bounce some more Overlords for giggles. We're at 12. I think we're good on life. Guess we could be like super safe here and then like gain some more life with Prince if we want. I don't think it really matters. And then next turn we can attack for approximately 1 billion. Yeah, but this is nice because you can like, if you have like multiple Inquisitors, you can like keep your opponent's cards like semi-locked down. At least have like full knowledge of what they have in their hand if they're trying to be like tricksy. Actually, you know what? Let's just, for fun, let's just bounce Mistmoors again, because like why not? I think we're so far ahead at this point it doesn't really matter. Might just be fun. So you can draw 3 more cards, get some more tokens. Yeah, this deck is actually like really working. Oh man. All right, let's just put them out of their misery. Can just full send here. And that should really do it. I assume that's going to be enough at least. Guess they could have like Aetherize or something like that, but that would just delay the inevitable. Man, we're 13 cards deeper into the deck thanks to all these Enduring Innocence. Yeah, his deck is sweet. Okay, yeah, whatever. Sure. Cool. All right, 2-0. All right, let's get ready for the next one here. Man, this deck is sweet, though. I'm having such an awesome time playing it. Like, if you guys have the rares, you need to try this out. Opening hand looks great. Happy to keep. Could use a little more mana, but we do have the Starfield Shepherd to go and find some, so that's nice and exciting. Do a little bit of taxing on the opponent's hand. And then we can get Airbender Ascension going. See what we're up against. Okay, looks like possibly Izzet lessons. Yep. This is a nice timing here. Now we can Airbender Ascension the token. Get in for a little bit of damage. And then next turn we can go for Starfield Shepherd to find our third land. Hopefully they don't like hold up It'll Quench Ya. Alright, so they're just replaying some Storm Chaser talent. Alright, we found the land, so that's kind of nice. So now we can go for Innocence and start getting in there. I think we probably hold back on the attack here. I guess we could get in, but if we can start like bouncing this and like taxing the rest of their hand, that could be interesting. But maybe we're just supposed to trade here and just get damage in. I think we'll have other targets that we can bounce around, so maybe we just trade. Yeah, I think we just trade there. So hopefully they don't have Combustion Technique. That'd be annoying. But if they just have like Firebender lesson or maybe Aggro's Demonstration, that's okay. See what they're up against. Okay, so they're just going to do some more bouncing. That's fine. And they did have the Combustion Technique. That's annoying. All right, so now maybe we go for Flanker to clear out their yard so they can't start drawing 3 cards off of the new Ancestral Wisdom or whatever it's called, the new Ancestral Recall thing. Could also go for like Surus plus Starfield Shepherd and maybe like let it grow a little bit. Like I guess my concern is if they have mana up and they have It'll Quench Ya, they could prevent us from using Flanker on their yard. That's the only thing. I think double spelling is a little better. So I guess let's do this instead. We'll warp this in. kind of want to get this going. And then now we can find... Momo's a nice one. We can also, like, tax their hand a little bit more. I think, yeah, probably... I guess let's go for Lightstall. And then I think we want to do Surus here, just to make best use of our mana. Alright, and let's bounce our Surus and have that come back. I suppose we could also do it on the Shepherd. And like maybe if we bounce Shepherd there, Shepherd comes back and isn't like stuck in the warp state. So maybe we should have done that. I guess I'm not sure if it sticks around if we bounce it like that. It probably does. So I wonder if they go for maybe Demonstration here. Okay, there's another Ascension. We can start getting that going. They do have... Okay, so that they haven't cast it yet. Maybe they're holding on to whatever it's called, the Ancestral Wisdom thing or whatever. So I guess we could push in and see what they do. Could also like Ascension their token and start pushing in a little bit, getting aggressive, and then using Inquisitor. I think I'm gonna try just attacking and like see if I can force their hand here a little bit. See if they're holding on to Wisdom. Okay, I guess not. They might just have It'll Quench Ya, and that's fine. Do we want to hold up Flanker? I think we just go for another Ascension. I could go for Inquisitor if they play It'll Quench Ya. I think I'm fine with that. We have other stuff to do, so it's not a huge deal if they counter this. Now we can bounce both, provided that they don't have burn in response. Oh, actually, I guess we should have targeted the Inquisitor. I forgot we only have one trigger. Yeah, I think we should go for Inquisitor there and just tax their hand a little bit more. They had the Wisdom. Yeah, maybe we should have gone for Flanker. I guess I was just trying to play around It'll Quench Ya too much. Demonstration is really good also. Could go for Shepherd. I think they're going to probably try to get back Boomerang Basics, though. I think now we just want to maybe start bouncing Flanker. Ooh, Suki is actually really nice. I don't think we need 2 copies. Well, actually, maybe we want to back up just in case they kill the first one. with like a demonstration or a combustion technique, but it is a pretty nice effect. I mean, it's good like if we can get something else going, but like if they like kill our flanker instead, I think I'm just gonna keep one Suki. It's like Suki is only good if we have other creatures doing stuff. Alright, they're going for Monument. We could go for Shepherd here. Again, I think we want to play around Eloquentia. If they have Burn here, we'll make them use the Burn on the flanker. The nice thing is, even if they kill the flanker themselves, we still get a token from Suki. So there's kind of no getting around that, which is a little nice. Try to force their hand a little bit here. Still getting used to this deck, but it is a lot of fun to play. Alright, so we still get a token. Unfortunately, we don't get to recur the flanker. Couple nice draws here with abandoned attachments. Now they're set up for another accumulated wisdom. Hopefully they don't got it. They're doing the Izzet lessons thing. We're 22. I think we can push here a little bit. So maybe we just take this. Could also just chump. Wouldn't be the end of the world. They're at 10 though. I think we can try to push. Alright. Innocence is nice. I think we want Innocence here over the Shepherd. Plays around Eloquentia. Problem is we don't really have creatures right now. We need a little bit more mana before we can start bouncing. So nothing to bounce this turn. Just hoping we can stabilize before they go off. They can go back and get another combustion technique, so they might do that, and then get rid of the Innocence. We need to clear out their yard again. Yeah, that's what they're going for. Okay, well now we have Parting Gust, so that's actually pretty nice. We don't quite have enough mana for Parting Gust plus making a token, which is annoying. But I think we just... maybe we just sit here. I suppose we could sack this token and try to draw a card. That might be the play. However... yeah, I think that's probably what we go for. Maybe we can like sneak in 1 point of damage in first before we sack it. I suppose we also kind of want to get Innocence into the yard. They probably try to do Combustion Technique at end of turn, so I think we can sack the token and draw here. They won't have enough extra mana for it'll quench you. So I think they try to go for it here. Alright, there's an extra land, which is nice. See if they go for it. And we can target it to put it back on defense. See if they let us do it. Okay, now we can respond with Parting Gust. We'll be away until the end of their turn, so they won't be able to Combustion Technique it again right away. We definitely need an answer for Grand, though. It could certainly be a problem. And that is our money card. Okay, that's amazing. So I think we want to attack first and then clear out their yard. I suppose we could do it now and then Grand won't give them the discount. But then if this dies, it dies for good. So I think we get in first. We want to play around, it'll quench you. So I guess, yeah, let's start with Rest in Peace. And now we can go ahead and make a token. If they have Burn, they can get our Innocence in response. But I think we just go for it before they draw. And that's another one of our money cards. I think we want to leave it since it's got the +1/+1 token on it. We could bring it back to block. I suppose we could block, and Grand is pretty good, though. It will lose the token. is that worth blocking for Grand? I mean, it's pretty good because they can do a bunch of damage with it. I think we keep it maybe. Let's just leave it because like the life probably does matter, and I think losing it is probably not a good plan. But yeah, Rest in Peace is really good. May not be enough, but it's a good start. We can also use Starfield Shepherd to go and get the one of to get rid of some of these monuments. They also do have to be a little bit careful here about attacking. Okay, so they have demonstration. Sure. I think we just chump here one of the 3/3s. Okay, Flanker is nice. It gives us a little bit of life potentially. So I think we want to go for Overlord. We don't want to tap out, though. Again, playing around, it'll quench you. Might be... This is going to be close, though, because they can potentially kill us with Monument to Endurance. The Rest in Peace is doing a lot of work, though. I think they potentially have like one more demonstration. Yeah, I think they've just got it here with the monuments. It's just a little bit too much, too fast. This was a tough one. If you saw maybe a different play I could have made to like make this game work, put it in the comments. I feel like I screwed this game up somehow, but this was a tough match. Maybe like going for the flyer earlier to try to like find an answer for Monument. All right, 2 and 1. I think this deck does have what it takes though to kind of fight toe to toe with Lessons, even though that is such a not a fun deck to play against. That's for sure. One of the more broken decks in recent memory. Opening hand looks good. All right, let's start off by taxing him. Love taxing control. Now we can use Charming Prince on turn 2 to double tax him. Or we could go and find our third land. Either one I think would be quite good. All right, got the third land, so we can try for the double tax play. All right, let's get in, see what they do. Not having any of that. I think now we just want to set up our next land. Try to ensure Overlord. See if they have another counter. Could tax them again, but I think we just want to get land secured. All right, this is a good turn to try to go for Overlord. Actually, we could go for Beza here and try to get an extra card out of him and like soft test for the counter spell. I don't know that they care a whole lot about the Beza because they really want to consult this turn. Like if they decide to do like 3 steps, they do it for less value. So this is a really good turn to try to force something through. Let's attack first. I guess let's test the waters with Beza. Like this way we get a card at the very least. So they maybe just like are just setting up for board wipe. So like I think that like Overlord is stronger here, but I did kind of want to soft test. Maybe they just don't care. Yeah, there's the consult. Like blue-white really wants to consult on 4. Now they can do 3 steps with value. Or just go for day. Okay. Yeah, day is pretty good. Guess we can Starfield Shepherd here. I mean, like we could also go for Overlord. Overlord is pretty nice. It gets a threat and a clock going. Shepherd is like not nearly as threatening. So I think maybe let's just Overlord here. Base is okay, but like it's not as good as they would like. Beza does push back decently hard. We could actually go for Shepherd here. We could also just like pump with Air Temple and just start 6ing him in the air. I do kind of like that. But if we go and get Starfield Shepherd and it lands, we can like also tax their hand again, which feels pretty good. I think either play is fine. Momo's also nice. I think we just want to tax him though. Actually, I guess Momo attacks in the air. Could also like buy like insurance against Star Cage. if they try to go that direction. Because, like, yeah, the Lightstall Inquisitor doesn't really do much right now. I think I'm just going to get Insurance. And we just hold the Seam Rips here. Like, Starcage doesn't really do much right now, but theoretically it might with some of our other drops. So I don't know if we're supposed to, like, maybe, like, try to go for a different... Maybe we should have just grabbed Plains. Might have been better. Just, like, more land is always good. But, like, we're racing pretty well here. And, like, if we're really worried about Beza, we can just Parting Gust it. I think we want to hold Parting Gust, though, for, like, our own Shepherd if they try to board wipe. Now we could just, like, Air Temple, although I'm wondering if they have, like, removal here. Like, if we take another 5, we could even take 7. We're still fine. Could get Ascension going. I think we just pump, honestly. It's, like, maybe less interesting, but I think it's probably what we do. Just push for damage. So I think they're kind of, like, setting up for a board wipe anyways. Only thing holding me back is, like, potentially protecting our Shepherd with, like, Parting Gust. Yeah, maybe we do, actually. It's like we still have them dead in one turn here. Now we can Ascension and, like, bounce their token. It's not huge, but we can, like, start placing it. Or we could just, like, pump end of turn, which is still pretty good. Yeah, maybe we just do, like, end of turn. I don't think we need to do Ascension right now. Get lost. Don't know if we can even target that, because it's not technically a creature right now, it's just an enchantment, so I think we have to let that ride. Ultima. Just going to end the turn so Parting Gust doesn't save it. You'd think they would attack before going for Ultima, though. Yeah, I'm kind of curious if this would come back, because it's at the beginning of the end step, right? I'm gonna do it because I'm kind of curious, like, how it actually plays out. I don't know if this works or not. I don't think it works, but I want to try it just to, like, figure it out if it works. Maybe it comes back at, like, the next end step. Be kind of interesting. Let's get Ascension going. Could play Farm Animals to start beating in, but that seems pretty bad. So I think we just sit. I guess it does come back. That's cool. All right, let's go and find... Probably just Momo. Parting Gust number 2. Alright, let's go, want some more land, maybe? Suppose we could find out a little bit more about their hand. It's still pretty good. Let's see what we're up against. We're also working our way to getting 4 counters on Ascension. Seam Rip. Okay, Seam Rip is pretty good. We can Seam Rip it back. I guess we get 1 more free flip with this, so we might as well do it. Maybe get Momo in there. I think we hold the mana open for Parting Gust in case they've got nonsense. Now we can tax another card. We could also get like a Scry with Momo if we want. I feel like taxing them is pretty good. Gives us more information. Okay, Meringue, River Regent. So we could Parting Gust here again. I don't think we need to though, because we can like warp this back in. I think we Parting Gust a Regent to allow us to attack in, and that should be game unless they've got something for 1 mana. So I think we just let this ride. Let's put a counter on our Inquisitor. Remove the blocker, and that should do it. All right, 3 and 1. Yeah, this deck is cool. It's just like getting all like the right order of everything kind of down. Definitely takes a little getting used to. right, opening hand looks good. We've got stuff to do. 2 mana. Hopefully we can draw into a third. Okay, it looks like we are up against Omniscience. So we probably use Charming Prince here to scry. See if we can set up our third land would be great. Okay, not exactly what we're looking for. Want some land. We've got the Parting Gust, so we can be ready on 4. But if we're not hitting land, this could be a very short game. All right, I guess we're just going for it. I guess, you know, we could pretend like we've got Get Lost here and just hold up mana. It's kind of a dangerous game, though. There's a decent chance they have it. So, what do we do? Do we just kind of go for it? I think we just try to get in. It's not ideal, but like, I think we just hope that they don't have it. Be a lot more convincing if we had red mana. Okay, if they don't have it now, they might have it here very shortly. Man, another Parting Gust just taunting us. This is brutal. Alright, well, they are not going to try it. I think now we have to hold up Parting Gust, so I think we just push with what we've got and try to close it out. Problem is if they have like counter backup, which they most likely do, we might just be cooked. Okay. I guess we just get rid of their regent here and like reset. It's not great, but getting through a 6/6 is gonna, or 6/7 is gonna be rough. Ah, man. I think we just gotta hold, unfortunately. Try to hit another land. Problem is, like, if they've got counters, like, we're so done. We're not pushing damage. Ah, this hurts. Can open up for a turn, but I feel like we probably lose if we do. Might be too slow otherwise, though. I think we just gotta maybe just go for it. Yeah, I don't know. This is tough. Definitely have an opening. They haven't got it. Wow. All right, well, that's a land. It is a land. Now I think we have to hold up Parting Gust. Could Seam Rip maybe. Oh, never mind. We got to hold up Parting Gust. Yep. Could replay it. Decent chance they draw into it, but maybe we just got to go for it. Because they definitely have enough up to counter it. So maybe we just hope they don't draw it and then just... yeah, this is brutal. Problem is this isn't even a very quick clock, so Charming Prince plus bouncing this is actually maybe even a little bit better. And then we can Seam Rip, get rid of their blocker, try to just shorten the game. Oh my god. Whew. Alright, they did find it, unfortunately. Yeah. Like, our draw was just so anemic for doing damage. It's just a little bit rough. Question is if they have the dragon to bounce everything. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, and that's going to do it. Yeah, maybe we were supposed to hold there. Just, oh my god. We didn't have much, we didn't have a whole lot of pressure. Alright, 3 and 2. See if we can fight on. Alright, opening hand looks good. Let's hope we can get our third land. Get Momo going. I think we probably want a Prince here. Oh, never mind. Actually, we drew land. So now, get Airbender Ascension going. I guess let's get in first. Going for Caretaker's Talent. I think we probably want Prince. Well, this is going to give us 2 creatures. That gets us to... yeah, so we probably go for Surus, I guess. Now we can use Charming Prince on Surus to get some more triggers. Builder's Talent. Okay. Got access to flanker. Can Parting Gust their scavenger? Actually, we could just bounce our own guy. That might be better. I think let's Prince, and then let's bounce. And then I guess we could Parting Gust. Maybe let's hold Parting Gust here. Do we want to Parting Gust anything? I guess like we could make more tokens, but maybe we just save it or get rid of their scavenger. Their scavenger is kind of annoying. Actually, let's get rid of the scavenger. Now we can use Beza to draw a card. That feels pretty good. Can get in for some damage. Does Beza, what does Beza do? I think we probably just want like another token maybe. We could also start scrying, which might be nice. Try to find better draws. We do have Overlord, so maybe we don't even need that. Just more tokens feels good. Otherwise we could also like put counters. Let's just get another token. Battlefront is pretty good. Ooh, another Sheltered by Ghosts, okay. Yeah, they're really kind of going off here. All right, I think we double block the Forsaken Miner. All right, let's I think let's scry. Seam Rip is really good. Get back our Beza. That actually feels pretty good. And then another Surus. I think we're good on Surus. Alright, we can go for Overlord plus Seamrip. And we want to be careful here with this Seamrip. I think we just want to get rid of the Sheltered by Ghosts and leave the skeleton token. Get a little bit more mana. I suppose we can even flip this thing, which is kind of funny. I think we just want Overlord instead, though. What do we want more of? Why don't we get some more... I suppose we can do Prince plus Surus. Get another token, or we could scry some more. Why don't we just get another token? Oh, I guess he comes back at the end of the other turn or whatever. That's fine. Cover up is a nice way to get a case of the stash skeleton going. Surus does come back and dodges all of that. Okay, there's Starfield Shepherd. This is actually a good time to use Shepherd to go and get... Let's see, how much mana do we have? Do we have enough mana? Yeah, I think we have just enough. Alright, so let's warp in the Shepherd. Let's go and grab our one of Curious Farm Animals. And we can play that. And sacrifice it to get rid of the stash skeleton. Before they can trigger it. Alright, so now if I bounce Shepherd, I think this works. It just comes back. Get to go search again. We want more mana at this point. Probably Inquisitor. Just some more threats. I guess mana is good too. Alright, Beza the Hellraiser. Crime. Okay, that's a good thing to get rid of. Let's just get rid of that right now. Okay, I guess they do draw they draw a card off the Caretaker's Talent. But we can find out what it is. They have Get Lost. Get Lost is pretty good for Overlord. Should we get another token, or maybe just get some more land? Let's get another token. And they drew another Gisa. Okay. All right. Can flanker. We can start sacking tokens. What do we want to do? Let's see their last card. Don't really have great attacks just yet. Guess let's just get some more tokens. Probably use Get Lost here on the Overlord, I'm assuming. Then they get some zombie tokens. That was a pretty big play for them, getting back the Sheltered by Ghosts. Death Baron. +1/+1 and have Death Touch, sure. Alright, let's go and see if we can set up our draws a little bit. Overlord feels pretty good. Fortunately, we can't play it for the full mana, but that's okay. And now let's try to go over the top here with our Shepherd. Don't think we need another Surus. And then just 4 in the air. Let's set up some more draws. We could make another 2/2 or a 2/1. I think we just want to set up our draws a little bit more though. Charming Prince. Charming Prince is okay. I think we can do better. We really want here is like Elspeth. Oh my god. Battlefront is rough. Make a huge Gisa. Yeah, they probably have to attack with Gisa here. All right. It's 4 points, 8 points, and 10 points. Then we're taking 13. I suppose we could kill one of these. They're going to go to 15. We are going to get back our Overlord, so that is kind of nice. Do we trade for Zombie? Alright, Overlord is back. Parting Gust is also great. Alright, we can Parting Gust our Overlord to make some more guys. We can even do it on the attack. So let's get in, and we can safely attack here. I think just these 4. Then I think for the ordering of this, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I think we can potentially get it both ways. So if we go for Overlord, and then it comes back, and then we get to Aang also, I think that's how that works. Oh, I guess I could have reordered it. That might cost us. All right, let's make another token. Yeah, so if I ordered it differently, I could have had this come back in twice. It's still pretty good. I mean, I can't complain. We got a lot of blockers. Oh my god. Not again. Not again. Sheltered by ghosts. Got him covered in the air as long as we can survive. It's alright, so if we leave these alone, we just let those through, take 12. Let's think maybe we make another blocker here. Alright, so we block 1, 2, 3. If we leave this alone, he goes to 12. We have to block these also. Just trying to see if we can do this and win next turn. So we block all that. He goes to 12. We hit him for 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, that should do it. Go to 1. I think that's the way. Here we go. It was a crazy game, but we got there. All right, we fight on. 4 and 2. All right, 4 and 2. Man, that last game was crazy. But yeah, I really like what this deck is doing. I think there's the pieces are working. I'm just trying to decide like which cards we want more of, which ones we want fewer of. All right, opening a hand looks good. We have mana, a little bit of removal. Got Enduring Innocence, which is nice. Yeah, I think we probably want more Elspeth. Like this card definitely would have pulled us out of the fire in that last game like way sooner if we could have gotten it into play. Vendor is annoying. I don't know that I think we hold the Parting Gust until a little bit later. They can start doing nonsense, but maybe we're supposed to get rid of it now and just like buy time. Like this is good though against like if they do end up getting what's the word I'm looking for? Sheltered by ghosts. I think this is a big enough threat though that I'm just gonna deal with it now. We've got kind of a slow draw. I mean, they might just get rid of the first one here and just put it on the fish. But like Vendor gives them like recurring enchantments, which is kind of annoying. Okay, they did exactly what I didn't want them to do, but it is what it is. Try to buy a little bit of time here, hopefully draw into something. I think that's probably the plan. Just buy some time. We need like a seam rip. Yeah, maybe that was a bit hasty with that Parting Gust. Okay. They're putting all the eggs in this basket. This is good to buy time though. See what they got cooking. Another seam rip. Ooh, not the Feather of Flight. No! Oh, man. And the seam rip to go with the spider. Yeah. All right, hindsight being 2020. Probably should have held the Parting Gust. This deck in particular, you just need a lot of cheap interaction. Yeah. All right, we ended up going 4 and 3. Overall, happy with it. think we just like barely made back, or it's pretty close to making back the entry fee. Take a quick look at the stats. All right, so we did go 57% win rate, 0% on the play, and 80% on the draw. So that was a little bit strange. 4 wins and 3 losses. And had a win and a loss against Izzet Lessons. That is definitely a tough match. Lost here to mono white Enchantments / Aggro, and a loss to Simic, looks like, Omniscience. So I think, I really like what this deck is doing. It's a lot of fun to play. It's a lot of nonsense going on and lots of stuff on the stack. But I think like this could potentially be a pretty good deck. Probably with a little bit of tuning. What I would say, kind of looking at it now, I think we probably need a full playset of Seamrip. It's just necessary against like the faster decks. It's great against like mono white in particular, especially if they have like suited up like Sheltered by Ghosts creatures. You can just target the Sheltered by Ghosts, and I think that is pretty important. So probably the full set of Seamrip. And for the creatures, I mean, the farm animals is also nice. We can use that as like a tutor target to like deal with some of those enchantments. Momo was interesting. I don't know how good Momo was overall. I think it's like a fine target. Inquisitor I think was great, just taxing them over and over. Like the play progression of like Inquisitor on 1, Charming Prince on 2, and then just like taxing him a second time, that felt pretty good. I think Charming Prince is great. Maybe this goes up to a 4 of. I'm not sure. Like it helps against everything with like the life gain, the scry, the bouncing. So I really like Charming Prince. Flanker was certainly good. We might want to have like a second Rest in Peace main deck. Like this was pretty important against Izzet Lessons. So maybe having like a backup copy would be good. Pretty impressed with Surus. I feel like 2 is okay. I don't know if we want more, or like 2 feels right, but this was doing a lot of work for us. Airbender Ascension obviously was great. Parting Gust, very happy with this as well. And then, whenever we saw Innocence, those games like really popped off. So I think having Innocence was great. Suki, I don't know. I think Suki, like I like what it's trying to do. It does make tokens. Maybe it's like a 1 of, but like there was a game where we had like 2 and it was kind of clunky, and like we couldn't put enough pressure into Omniscience with it. So who knows? Suki, I'm kind of like the jury's out. Maybe we want some number of the other card draw. The one we saw in the last game, I can't think of the name of it. It's the 3-mana enchantment that you can, make a copy of token, whatever it's called. Yeah. So possibly some of those, sort of like more like a white token stack. And then I think we definitely want the second copy of Elspeth. 2 copies of Elspeth would be great. Possibly 3. The Shepherd, I was pretty impressed with this. I think 3's doing okay. Beza was fine. Like, it wasn't amazing, but it was fine. And I could even see going up to 4 Overlords. Like, this card is completely busted if you can get it going. Adagia was great. The Air Temples. Fountainports didn't really do a lot, but, if you go long, potentially it could be good. So, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the deck. It's a lot of fun if you have the rares to try it out. And those are kind of some of the changes. So, if you enjoyed this, you might enjoy this other video next. Maybe check that out. And thanks again for watching. If you like this kind of content, you want to see more, the top pinned comment in this video will have a link to subscribe, and also a link if you'd like to become a member for 99 cents a month and have early access to all my new videos. And we'll see you in the next one.